like a Maxfield Parrish painting, all flamingo pink and gold. Watching as another day sinks down behind that old mountain in a blaze of color, almost too fantastic to behold. There's something mighty special in an Arizona sunset, like a strange and powerful presence is telling you good night. As the last red razor cast upon old Superstition Mountain, one moment can last forever in that strange and holy light. There's a silence and a peace here that can take your breath away.
Hello and welcome to This Old Prospector. I'm Jack Tucker. Do we have a show in store for you today? We came out here in Arizona to do a little dry washing. We're just located a couple miles from the famous Rich Hill, which was discovered around 1863 by the People's Party, with famous mountain man Pauline Weaver and Henry Wickenburg all came out here in search of gold. That time gold was laying all over the ground, just nuggets to be picked up. A lot of people say there is no more gold left to be found, but don't you believe that? Probably only about 10% of the gold has ever been found in this country, so there's still a lot of gold left. Anyways, we're out here on a claim owned by the GNR, and we want to thank them for allowing us to come out here and do some prospecting. We had some dry washers set up, and we came out here to do a little dry washing. Dry washers work out here in the desert when the ground is really dry and you're throwing the dirt up on here, and gold being so heavy it settles out of the dirt by air and gets caught down in these riffles. Well, it's rained all this week and the washers are full of water, and so we ain't gonna be doing any dry washing. So what we decided to do today was do a little panning. But regardless whether you work a dry washer or a dredge or any other piece of prospecting equipment, when it's all said and done, your concentrates have to be panned out. So the gold pan is your #1 source, and that's what we're going to do today, is do a little gold panning. So come on down and join me. One thing about being out here in the desert, these washes can fill up quite rapidly after it rains and they flash flood, and so you always kind of going to be watching up ahead. When those clouds start to get dark or they look like they're going to rain, you may have to head for higher ground. You can dig a hole here in this wash 2-3 feet down, and next time it flash floods, it'll fill itself right back in again. So the gold out here in the desert is constantly being moved around. There's running water right now. We want to take advantage of that while we can. Since gold is heavy, it'll generally travel with the larger rocks. So over here where you see the sand, there's no larger rocks in there. But where you see the larger rocks, that's generally where the gold will travel, with the larger rocks. And there's a piece of quartz right there. The old saying is, wherever you find quartz and black sand, you can find gold. Yeah, there's a bunch of rocks that are coming down here, large rocks, and then it kind of just opens up and slows down. These are good areas. And behind this large rock right here, I am going to get me some dirt. Go ahead and just fill your pan up. It doesn't have to be real full. Fill it on up there. Now when you're panning, where the water's coming down or your stream, you don't want to pan, of course, where the water flow is, because it's just going to carry all it around. So you want a slow spot in there to pan. What you're going to do is just reach in with your hand, any large rocks, make sure they're not gold nuggets, and throw them away. And then what you're going to do is stratify the material. Now gold is heavy. Gold is 19 times heavier than water. So gold is going to go to the bottom very quickly. So with your gold pan, these are space age plastic. The olden days, a lot of the old timers, they used metal gold pans. Back then the Chinese learned that by hammering indentations into the bottom of their gold pans would help in aid of capture of that gold, and those were called Chinese traps. So nowadays we have the Chinese traps, but they're grooves, they're a gravity trap. So keep water, put your dirt in material, make sure there's always water over it, and in a circular motion you're going to stratify it. With water always above the material, you're going to work it down to the bottom point. Gold will drop to the bottom. Slightly tilt your pan forward with your gravity traps up front and go in small circular motions. And then just kind of lift the pan up, let the water come in, and carry the material on out. Drop it down a little bit, and then just keep doing the same thing. You don't have to get in a hurry, and you don't want to be dumping the material out. You just want slow motions, and slowly just keep working it all the way out. You'll get down to about a teaspoon, half a teaspoon, a tablespoon of the black sand, which is a magnetite or hematite. And then just slowly bring the pan up, let the water kind of come up and drag it back down. There's a little bit of fine gold in there, but not enough to take, so we just dump that back in. Let's continue on up here. Let's flip out some of these larger rocks here. Move them out of the way, because they hold the gold behind them. And then just reach in and take some of this pay dirt out of here. And then, again, indentations in the front, water above the material, small circular motions. And then just kind of let the water come in and out. You can rock it back and forth. Shake it down again. And then just slowly lift the pan. Reach in, throw any big rocks out of the way. Back and forth, and just keep going until all that material, it's called the blonde sand, the lighter stuff is a blonde sand, and you'll work that all the way out. Oh, I see gold already. You sometimes will see the gold appear, and you can work it. You ain't going to lose the gold. As you get down to the smaller amounts of material, just go a little bit smaller, keeping an eye on it. Work it all the way down. And then just bring it back and just let the water kind of come up and down and carry out the material. Look at that, there's a couple little flakes right there. That's what you're looking for, that's gold. And then you have these sniffer bottles or sucker bottles, and they kind of work as a vacuum cleaner. You fill them full of water and squirt the water out, put the water underneath there, and they will just suck up that gold right there, just like that. It'll get it all. Oh well, this is a nice little stream that's just loaded with fine gold and little, every now and then you might find a nice little picker out of it, a lot of flakes, but let's continue on down. Here's another large rock. These little areas always seem for some reason to hold gold. Reach behind here and pull out some of these larger rocks. Get rid of them. Take your little trusty scoop and reach down in there. This is good pay dirt. Now you ain't gonna get rich digging for gold like this here. You will have a lot of fun. You'll get yourself a little bit of exercise, but you ain't gonna get rich. Reach in and pull out all the larger rocks. Find you a nice little place to pan in, and then just go ahead and pan it all out there. I've just kind of been going fast up and down. Oh, there's some more gold in there. It's nice when you find gold. Some people say, how can you tell if it's real gold or if it's fool's gold? Well, if you took a hammer and smashed real gold, it's just going to flatten out. Gold is very malleable. If you smashed a piece of fool's gold, it's just going to shatter on you. So that's one way to tell. Another way to tell gold never glistens, like they say all the glitters is not gold. Well, gold never glitters, and so if you're looking in the sunshine and it's glittering and you change it into the shade, gold will always look the same no matter which angle you're looking in. So I'll just keep on working this here down. One little nice little piece of gold. That's when you got your little, again, trusty sniffer bottle. Just reach in there, sniff that all up, and then keep on looking for more gold. Okay, I'm right here in the middle of this. It's like a little island that's coming up. So again, it's just another area I want to sample. Reach in, shovel out all the material you can. You can load that as much as you can. Now again, you want to get in an area that's not so... Let's go down here. Come on down here. Okay. Again, reach in, pull your larger rocks out of here, and then just mix all this stuff up. As you're mixing it, what you're doing is you're causing the heavy gold to work its way down to the bottom. Gold is heavy, and it will work its way down. So I'll just reach in and pull out all these larger rocks, and I must have got a lot of them. And then stratify. Just shake it all over. Back and forth. Don't worry about it if anything spills up over the top. Generally that ain't going to be good gold anyway if it's that light. By the time you reach in and mix stuff up. Okay, find your riffles, keep them to this angle, and then just kind of little circular motions back and forth. Little circular motions. Again, reach in, knock your heavier rocks on out of there. Continue your little circular motions. Slowly lift it up out of the water and let water come in and let water go out. Throw out some of these heavier rocks there. By now, a lot of that gold should already be working its way down. And then again, slightly lower the pan, little circular motions. And again, lift it back up, kind of let the water, just kind of let the water kind of come in and carry it out. Don't dump the material. Let the water do the action. Drop it again, little circular motions. As a lot of your larger rocks will disappear, what you'll want to do is slow down your little circular motions. Do a little smaller. Reach in there and throw that out of there like that. Circular motions. You'll see that blonde sand disappear, where all you got left is that black sand. And you may see gold appear here in your corners. So then you'll want to slow down, take it a little slower. But again, once it's pretty well down there, turn that around and just fan it back. Let it kind of come up and down. There's another piece of little gold right there. And actually that one's probably not too bad. I'll show you again a close-up of that right there. That's gold. That's what you're looking for. Good old yellow gold. Like I said, you ain't going to get rich out here panning for gold, but you will definitely have a lot of fun. This here is a 3-inch dredge high banker combination unit. The member here is running it with the dredge. There's a 3-inch nozzle, and it has a ventura. The water's coming over and it creates a vacuum effect that sucks up all the smaller rocks. It comes up there on the screen. Everything larger falls off, everything smaller falls through that screen, and then gets trapped behind the riffles on its way down. There's a motor down in the creek, and it has a foot valve on it sucking up the water, which is feeding it. And again, while there's water flowing in the desert, you might as well take advantage of it. Okay, there's another little spot right here. Just go ahead again and reach in. There's another big rock right here as the water's coming down, and throw out some of the larger rocks and scoop you up some material. You don't have to fill your pan really full, but this is just basic panning instructions. You'll get better as time goes on. The main thing is just practice your panning. But again, really quick, is keep water over the material. This is called stratifying, when you're just shaking it around, and what you're doing, it's liquid and you're causing the gold to quickly go to the bottom. Real circular motions, work it, cause the gold to go down slowly. Keep the pan tilted as you work the material, and your gold will go on down here to the bottom. The mistakes most people make is they'll lift their pan back out of the water and they'll start looking through there for gold. You don't want to do that. Once you get the material working down, don't tilt the pan back. Keep it going. In circular motion, just keep going. Any of these larger rocks, go ahead and just throw them on out of here. After it's stratified, the material, you'll kind of get the feel, and then slowly lift the pan up, let the water come in, and carry the top material out. And you can tell it'll start to lock up on you a little bit. Again, another mistake is people tend to want to start pouring the material out. Don't let it pour out. Drop the pan back, re-stratify, slowly lift it up again, go in small circular motions, let the water kind of just carry that material out. Again, drop it, re-stratify a little bit, slowly let the water kind of come in and out. You'll see some black sand start to appear. That's what you want. That's a good sign. Black sand. Sometimes you'll get a lot of black sand in here, and it will just tend to lock up on you, and you'll have to work it a little bit slower. When it gets down to about that tablespoon of that black sand, get a little bit of water in there, tap it a couple times, and what you're going to do is just let the water kind of come up and over the material and carry it on out. There's a couple little specks in here, but nothing worth keeping. Alrighty, let's see here. Let's go on down. It's good to playing out in the water. Sun shining in the water. Well, I got a sluice box set up here, so let me show you this sluice box. Okay, I got my sluice box set up in here, and this water is rising, so what I'm doing is I'm going to put a bunch of big rocks in here. I've made this little funnel system here, so the water as it's coming down will kind of funnel or push any of this material, dirt, down through my sluice box right here. I've got larger rocks, so just in case this wash rises, it's not going to carry it all the way down to the next county. Now what you can do is go ahead and scoop you up some dirt or material and just dump it in the front of your box. And this box is probably only about this long, it's probably about this wide, and it has riffle trays down there. The water's going to come, it's got a carpeting, a matting inside of there, and the material or the gold's going to settle out of your larger or your dirt, and the gold's going to get trapped behind these riffle trays. So what you're going to do is just basically shovel material to the back end of the sluice box, and the water action will take care of the rest. And I'm going to leave this in here probably, I don't know, the next, till the rest of this day. As long as this water's coming down, it's just like free gold or free sluicing, because it's just going to work its way for me. I've cleared a spot up in front. I've made myself a little V right here, and I've got my sluice box right here, so it's set up. Anyway, that's panning and that's sluicing, and hopefully next time we'll get to do a little dry washing. Again, we want to thank the GNR for allowing us to come out on their claim and do some prospecting. You can go to any prospecting store or internet and look for gold pans and all the materials. There's a lot of information out there. We'll bring you a lot of information as time goes out. But take your family and get on out and have some fun. Prospecting is a good, rewarding, fun activity, but it's becoming more and more popular. So anyways, we're going to wrap it up here. I'm going to continue working. So until next time, I hope to see you out in the gold fields.